Alright, what up guys? So we're just gonna start kind of changing things up on the channel here on YouTube. I'm gonna just start doing a different kind of form of content. Uh, so it's kind of gonna just be unedited like this. I'm gonna talk about a bunch of different things, just kind of whatever I'm feeling in the moment, really. So this is kind of new for me. This is going to be a little more longer formatted, a little more personal too, so you guys kind of just start to get to know me and just who I am, just as a person, you know. So I think that's really important. One of the trainers I kind of look up to, he's a really good trainer in the industry. Fernando out in Colorado Springs, he was saying, you know, the reason that he thinks he does really well is because he's so personable. And you know, I've thought the same thing about my TikTok lives. So I decided this is kind of what I'm gonna do for my YouTube. So it's just gonna be kind of long form videos of me just kind of talking to you guys. So you know, ask me questions. Let me know what you want to talk about. Today I'm kind of just gonna talk a little bit about life. You know, I haven't been too much active in the last month, so I kind of wanted to just talk about why I haven't been active, and I kind of wanted just to, you know, lead that into just kind of just about some things on life and some of my philosophies on life, I suppose. And yeah, so let's get into it. So yeah, I haven't been posting much. We're in a new place now, so I'm in the same complex, but we moved to a different unit. I'm on the bottom floor now, so you guys can see my unit's like right here. So I'm just on my back porch. It's nice. I can let the dogs out here. So I'm gonna start filming my videos out here. These videos, some shorts, and as well as my lives out here. Okay. I also have somebody who's going to be editing my videos right now. His name's Eli. Shout out to you, Eli. You're awesome. He's going to not be editing my YouTubes. My YouTubes are mostly going to be unedited. But he's going to be doing all of my shorts. So he's in college right now for graphic design. So he's kind of just using me as some practice, and he's helping me out a ton. So I'll be getting some more shorts out. So that is new. We just started working together this week. So my first post was last night with him, so that's great. We're hopping on a good schedule now, and we're starting to get that ironed out. So we'll be more post on the socials, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. And then as far as my lives, we're gonna start doing them, not a consistent time. I had a client for the last couple months who I sat his dogs for a couple hours a day and trained them a tiny bit, but he had 7 dogs. So I'm not with him anymore though. He just had some surgery, so he's home full time, so he just doesn't need me right now. So I'm gonna be able to do my lives a lot more during the day, so that'll be nice. But yeah guys, life is hard. So you know, part of the reason I wasn't going live is because we were moving, right? So we moved for a few different reasons. Okay, this unit is a lot better laid out for our kind of lifestyle. It has a back door here, a front door. Okay, it's a lot easier to just get the dogs in and out, not having to go up the stairs. So that's nicer. The way it's kind of laid out inside is nicer as well, a little more space. But our neighbor just kept calling the animal control on us and just saying our dogs were barking nonstop, and they have to supply some sort of evidence for it to be illegal or an actual complaint. But animal control just kept calling me and saying, hey, your neighbor just keeps complaining. And I'm like, okay, well, have they supplied any sort of evidence? And they're like, no. I'm like, well, then the dog's not really barking, because I know my dogs. They're guardian breeds, you know, Dobermans and Rottweilers. So when people walk up in the hallway, they bark, but it doesn't last long. So just a really annoying neighbor. Honestly, it was kind of making my life really stressful. So I wanted to get away from him. This was a better setup. Those two kind of reasons kind of just put us here. So it was nice. We were able to make it happen. But I put a lot of things on hold. The other thing was my car stopped working. Okay. And a lot of you guys know, if you've been following me, I was actually planning on moving into a house. That fell through. Okay, I was gonna live with my dad and my brother, but honestly guys, my dad has a real bad drinking problem. I don't want to get into it too much, but I don't want to live with him anymore. So it's too much of a responsibility. You know, a lot of my childhood, I kind of took care of him, and I don't want to do that anymore. You know, I'm 23, about to be 24. Me and my fiance, we want to get married next year. We're looking at having kids soon. You know, I'm really trying to start my own foundation and building my own business. So I kind of just told him, like, look, dude, I hate it because I really wanted to live with him and help him try to get better and be a good family again. You know, I moved out when I was 16, okay, because of that, because of my dad drinking. I moved out and I moved to California and I lived with some friends when I was 16. I'm in Colorado now, so I moved out of state. I kind of didn't really see my family a whole lot for like 7 years, and then I just moved back at the end of last year. And so the whole plan was me moving back, and we were going to get a house, and we were going to live together, and it was going to be nice with my dog training, and we were going to have space. Out here, they have really nice houses, 3-bedroom, 4-bedroom houses with extra space in the basement as well, finished basements with an extra 1 or 2 bedrooms with the whole living room down there. So it was going to be a really nice setup for the dog training with a backyard. I was going to build an agility course. A lot of you guys know I was so hyped for that lame life. I'm sure you know. But not going to happen for the time being. That's okay. You know, life goes on. Just the way it is. Give me 1 second. I gotta make sure it's still filming. Apple storage, you guys. Okay, so anyways, that was kind of a scenario. We ended up not getting in a house, so we were like, all right, we're gonna stay in that apartment, and they were like, okay, actually, let's just kind of refresh. So at the same time, didn't get the house. I was pretty upset about that for about a week. Just a lot of mental things going on, you know, just upset with my dad, not really talking much. We got into some fights, and it was just kind of hard. You know, I was really looking forward to getting this house for the last year and had a lot of plans for my business, and it was really gonna, you know, the space was really gonna help me. But that's okay. It's really up to your own willpower at the end of the day. I can still make things happen here, you know. It's really just up to myself, and you have to work with what you got. So didn't move into a house. We moved here. The car stopped working. Okay, guys, I'm driving down the street and my car just stopped. Literally, all of a sudden I feel my gas not working, and then my power steering went out and I couldn't turn, and I just turned the wheel right as much as I can and veered off the side of the street, and I got like into a parking lot, and I was parked all sideways. I was like, what? And I put it into park, and then I tried to turn it off, and my car turned on, and I was like, okay, I don't know what's happening. I drove it a little bit and it was fine, but I was like, dude, I was 40 miles away from home trying to pick up some stuff on Craigslist. Guys, I picked up a sleeping bag, a light, and like one other small camping item. And so I look like I'm living out of my car because all of a sudden my car's a mess. I got my sleeping bag and stuff in there because I had to call it in, and I was like, hey, I'm a couple miles away. Can you just meet me in this parking lot? And so yeah, then I had to get my car towed. So Mazda, guys, Mazda, you suck. Throwing that out there. Basically, my battery has died 4 times in the last 2 years, and it keeps dying every like 6 months. And I'm like, guys, and I brought it in this time, and they're like, oh yeah, basically your battery's dead. And I was like, dude, I just bought like a premium battery not 3 months ago, but in like December. So 5.5 months ago, I just bought a premium battery, okay? This thing's supposed to be worth its money, right? And then it dies in 6 months. I'm like, so what's up with that? And the guy at Mazda tells me, well, it sounds cheesy, but you know, it's kind of like your iPhone where they make it stop working, and then you have to get it fixed by them. So unless you're using like a Mazda battery, the Mazda cars don't work as well. And then a Mazda battery is $600. So I sold my Mazda the next week, and we traded in. I had a 2021 Mazda CX-30, so we got it a couple years ago, and then honestly, I traded in for a 2008 Jeep, and I've been loving life, guys. So new apartment, new Jeep, and it's a 2008 Jeep, guys, and I love it. It's like Bob the Builder, you know. I'm really looking. I hate cars. I see them as a money pit, but I like hobbies, and a Jeep is definitely fits my hobbies. I like fishing, like I said, guys, get into camping stuff. I like camping, right? So things work out, right? So got the Jeep, things have been working good there. That's been awesome. But dude, life was kind of just kicking my butt, guys. It's kind of like hard. It's one of those months where it was like I have to just keep my head up and above water, you know. It was hard to think about like what's next, right? And honestly, financially, we don't have a ton of money. And so that never makes things easier, right? And so it's hard to navigate the world sometimes. And so honestly, this kind of was a nice fresh start. We sleep on our couch, guys, at the other apartment, and I even got like a foam mat to like put over the couch. It's like a pull out, so we put a foam mat over it sometimes if we remember. Um, but honestly, guys, we're just like kind of roughing it. Like, all right, we need to get a bed. We need to just like set up. We need to get things right. So I got to get like, I've been really grinding on my business, guys. But like this last month was like one of these things where I'm debating, like, do I keep going with the business or do I get a job? I have a lot of sales experience, so I could get a good sales job. But I also hate that, and I really have been loving this, and I love what I do. So then I'm like, okay, I can do it. I just feel as if, I'm not doing the right things. Maybe I need to take the dogs out in more public. I need more customers, so I need to start doing different things, I suppose, right? And really just more things is what it comes down to, especially when you're running your own business. It's really just more things, and it's hard. That's why it's like successful business owners, you're doing a lot because it's not just one thing that works. Maybe you stumble across one thing after you tried 100 different things, right? But it's hard. So you just kind of had to keep persevering. You know what I mean? Keep kind of going through it. Um, and just, it's one of those things where it's like, oh, I'm not trying to make a new schedule. The one thing I have stayed with, guys, is stayed in the gym, and that's been nice. I've been doing calisthenics. Okay, so just push-ups, pull-ups, and like body weight squats and whatnot. And I'm not great at them. I suck. Like the first time, I do 3 or 4 rounds, usually just 3 rounds. The whole reason I switched to this, guys, because when I was doing weights, I was there for like an hour and a half. And so with calisthenics, it's nice because I can be in and out in like 45 minutes. Um, and I've been feeling a lot more of a difference. So the first time I went in there, guys, I only did like, maybe 10 push-ups, maybe 10 push-ups the first round. And then like the second round, it goes down to like 6, and then the third round, it's like 1.5, And so it keeps growing, now we're up to like 20 push-ups the first time. Nothing amazing, not great, guys, right? But it's cool because it's more than it was like a month ago, right? And it's cool because like lifting weights, I'm in decently okay shape. But it's crazy that I could hardly only do so many push-ups and pull-ups, right? Pull-ups are the hardest thing ever. So it's cool. It's another challenge, right? And it's nice to at least be taking a little bit of wins, guys. So when life is like this, I always try to take some wins. Getting the new apartment, fresh start, win. At least in my mind, right? With the Jeep, win, fresh start, getting rid of the burden, right? I'm just getting rid of burdens. The car, it was a burden. The apartment, it was a burden. Who's to say I could have problems with the Jeep? Sure, that's fine. I probably will, right? It's a 2008. I probably will, but it's going to be cheaper and it's saving me money as well. But I'll probably have problems. It's fine. At least it just wasn't the same burden I was having with the Mazda. It was an expensive burden. The apartment, I don't have an annoying neighbor. Maybe one of these neighbors could be worse. So far, I've had good luck, right? I wanted to take my chances. And also having the bottom floor is worth it. So, like, little wins, guys, they add up, okay? I spilled my coffee right before I made this, but I'm still making the video. You know what I mean? It's little wins. It's just little things. It's like, I don't know. Sometimes it's easy just to get knocked over, but we're here today. I'm filming this. I'm going to go live today. I'm going to film another video. I'm going to try to just get like a job at night, you guys. I thought about the sales job, right? A sales job would be nice because I could pay my debt off quicker, pay for the wedding. I think I'm going to try to get a good sales job, guys, because I can do this. I know I can. You know what I mean? You guys tell me I'm a good dog trainer, and I really appreciate that. So it gives me the confidence. I see the results that I put out. It's really just about, getting customers is hard, guys. It's not easy running your own business. There's a lot of steps to it. A lot of the times people just ask me like, oh, are you even a dog trainer? So it's like having branded shirts is like one thing to get rid of that. And it's like, I only have one branded hoodies, so I don't have business cards. My website is almost up. I finished my website, guys. Honestly, I just don't have money to like pay to get it live. So the website will be up. It's really just like a lot of little things that are just holding me back. You know what I mean? I think I really just need to like get out there, guys, get out there, do it with your life too. The whole reason I'm making this, I'm talking about my life, but want to correlate it to the bigger picture, right? It's like when things get hard, just figure out one plan and just stick to it. Okay, it doesn't matter if you're 18 and you just got out of school and you don't know what to do, or if you're 40 and you're stuck working a job and you don't know what to do. Just find one thing and just try to stick with it, whether it's a side hobby, or it's a new group, or it's a new friends, or it's a new place, or it's whatever it may be. Just try to find something and just stick with it for a little bit. That's the hardest thing people can't do, including myself, everybody. It's just getting started and then sticking with it. You know, a lot of people will start for 1, 2 days, few days, right? Sticking with it is the hard part, okay? But it's all about rolling with the punches. That's why I'm changing up, you know, the style of the channel, right? I'm just rolling with the punches. I'm gonna do something different. To me, this is a lot easier. I can sit down, film a quick video, chop it. Honestly, guys, I'm just gonna cut up the front and the back. You're gonna hear a lot of random ums and whatnot during this, but that's gonna be the way it is, and over time it'll get better. There you go. Speaking of the devil. So you gotta keep rolling with the punches, okay? Change up the game plan, but keep the end goal the same, okay? Have an end goal. Whether you're working a job and you want to get out of this job and you want to do something that you enjoy, that's the end goal, right? Is you want to be doing something. Don't have this vision that one day life's going to be good. One day I'll be happy. One day I'll do this and I'll be happy. One day I'll get a new job, I'll be happy. One day I'll get a new boss, I'll be happy. One day I'll get that promotion, I'll be happy. One day this will happen, I'll be happy. That's never gonna happen, okay? You have to be happy with what's happening now, okay? That's why, like, life's been beating me up, all sorts of other things have been happening. I had another friend, something tragic happened, and I have all sorts of things going on in my life, guys, but it's like you have to be happy that you woke up, you know what I mean? I'm glad the weather's good, the sky's blue, it's hot. You know what I mean? I got clothes. I'm glad I got to go into a new apartment. I'm glad I was able to be into a Jeep. You know what I mean? I'm glad I'm able to drive every day. You know what I mean? I'm glad I'm moving around. When I dislocated my knee, guys, last year, that's really what made me like, it was really hard mentally, because I thought I was like, for a minute, guys, after my cast, I couldn't like bend my knee like this, okay? And I thought I was never going to be able to bend my knee again. Like, I was like, oh my God, like I'll never be able to go past 90 degrees. Because it was like right when I went to 90, it just stopped and I couldn't, I just stopped. And so I thought I'll just never be able to go past it again. So that's why I take like the gym and whatnot seriously, because I eventually, after more rest and just slowly flexing every day, never till pain, but just keeping movement, you know what I mean? I was able to flex it, and my knee, I'm not going to say it feels 100% like it did before, because there's always some weird, I've never had a big injury like that, okay? But I wanted to make sure that I strengthened my knee. Now I know it's something I lack, so I strengthened my knee, okay? My knees, my shoulders, all my joints I strengthen, okay? I have a new outlook on life. It's not about, it never was about lifting heavy for me, but now it's just about consistency and longevity, okay? And so do whatever you can be consistent and have longevity in, okay? If you can lift heavy weights and go to the gym twice a day and you can do that and be a bodybuilder, do that, you know what I mean? But if you can't, figure out what works good for you, you know? And whether it's, maybe it's not even going to the gym. However, I think everyone should live an active lifestyle. So go out with your dog, go on a walk, go do something besides, if your work is active, unless you're in construction, go do something else, guys. Like, do something a little bit, and just be active, okay? I'm even a believer in just like doing some push-ups or like a little bit of stuff, just because push-ups are really good for your heart health. Just do things that are good for your heart health, your cardiovascular health, and keeping your body flexible and mobile, okay? So whether it's the gym, it's calisthenics, it's gymnastics, whatever that is for you, jiu-jitsu I love, whether it's boxing or whatever sport you may love or do, basketball, anything, just do it in moderation and try to stay consistent with it. So yeah, guys, that's kind of my whole vision is life is hard, but take every day, you know, one day at a time. Just keep going. One day, and even sometimes the one day is hard. Sometimes it's just like a few hours. Like, okay, let me just block this out. Let me get this done. You know, little wins really do go a long way, guys. Like, you especially with social media, that shows, if social media is something you want to grow, one post a day. It doesn't matter if it's a 8-second post or a 1-minute post or a 10-minute post. Just post something every day. You get better at it, you learn, and really that's all. That's the hardest part. That's the hardest part, because then you start having to come up with more ideas, and that's a challenge in itself. But really, it's just posting every day is the hardest part, guys. So it's the same thing with whatever you want to do. Eating healthy, okay? That's something I started a long time ago. That's something I think everyone should do, okay? I believe in like a whole foods diet. I don't know too much about, seed oils or milk or whatever it may be. I just believe, eat fruits, vegetables, and meats, whether it's beef, chicken, pork, whatever you like. Just try to stick to whole meats. Fish too, you know what I mean? It's all great. Just try to stick to whole meats and foods that grow in the ground, you'll probably just be healthier. If you just try to stick to that, for the most part, you'll be fine. You know what I mean? I had In-N-Out last night, I probably had McDonald's last week, but you slip up sometimes, you know what I mean? I'm not like, no one's perfect, you know what I mean? But if you just try to just stick to your morals, you know what I mean? Every day, just stick to what you believe in, and actually just stick to it, not just say it, just walk the talk. That's something my dad always told me. If you're going to talk the talk, you got to walk the walk. And he always said that on basketball, so if I ever talked trash, it was because I could back it up. And that was a lesson in life that I learned, that, okay, if you're going to say something, you actually have to be doing it. You know what I mean? And so that's where I'm pretty honest and humble, you know what I mean? Like, you guys will say I don't post a ton of YouTube videos, but that's why I'm changing it up, so I can do something different like this every day. Be honest, you know what I mean? Sorry if I repeat myself too in the future videos, But yeah, I just want to try to be more honest, guys. I'll probably start wrapping it up here. Main lesson, life's hard. It's not going to be easy. If life is easy for you, be happy. Be happy if it's easy. Be happy if it's hard. At the end of the day, just be happy that you were blessed with life. Because it's cool. It's pretty awesome. You know what I mean? It's pretty crazy. Birds are chirping. You're breathing. The whole thing that's going on in your body is insane. It's a whole mechanical system that I can't even describe. You know what I mean? The grass grows. Oxygen, just everything working together. It's a blessing to be a part of it. You know what I mean? So be happy. Try to just at least remember that every day. Yeah, I'll be back tomorrow, guys. Some days I might talk and rant about dog training. Some days I might rant about life. Some days it might just be a rant about something else. I don't know. Never gonna be political though. That's something I always try to stay away from. I will just always be firm on my beliefs and what I care about and my morals. So yeah, stay true to yourself. Stay true to the people you love. Subscribe, like, share. You guys know everything to help out the brothers. Most importantly, just call someone, tell them you love them. Text someone. Maybe don't tell them you love them, but maybe try to go hang out with somebody. Go grab a drink or go fishing, or just text someone and give someone a call and just say what up. You'll be surprised if you just call your friends, guys. My age, a lot of people don't do this. You just call them and just go, yo, what up? A lot of people actually just stick around and talk. You don't think that, but we can actually just sit around and talk, guys. I call my friends pretty frequently, and just talk. It's good to do that, guys. It's good to do that. So do that, and have a great day. I'll see you soon.